have to. Okay. So yesterday, we're still reading Justin. So Justin is Via's boyfriend, and they're in the play. And yesterday, he was talking to Miranda, who has the pink hair. So if you remember, Miranda used to be Via's best friend, and then they've really grown apart, and Miranda totally changed, and Via wasn't kind of cool with it. So Via and Miranda aren't really friends anymore, but Miranda still really she cares about Augie, and she's, asking questions to Justin about their family. So this chapter is called Bird. Why didn't you tell me that you and Miranda Navas used to be friends? I say to Olivia the next day. I'm really annoyed at her for not telling me this. It's not a big deal, she answers defensively, looking at me like I'm weird. It is a big deal, I say. I looked like an idiot. How could you not tell me? You've always acted like you don't even know her. I don't know her, she answers quickly. I don't know who that pink-haired cheerleader is. The girl I knew was a total dork who collected American Girl dolls. Oh, come on, Olivia. You come on. You could have mentioned it to me at some point, I say quietly, pretending not to notice the big fat tears that's suddenly rolling down her cheek. She shrugs, fighting back bigger tears. It's okay. I'm not mad, I say, thinking the tears are about me. I honestly don't care if you're mad, she says spitefully. Oh, that's real nice, I fire back. She doesn't say anything. The tears are about to come. Olivia, what's the matter, I say. She shakes her head like she doesn't want to talk about it, but all of a sudden the tears start rolling a mile a minute. I'm sorry, it's not you, Justin. I'm not crying because of you, she finally says through her tears. Then why are you crying? Because I'm an awful person. What are you talking about? She's not looking at me, wiping her tears with the palm of her hand. I haven't told my parents about the show, she says quietly. I shake my head because I don't get what she's telling me. That's okay, I say. It's not too late. There are still tickets available. I don't want them to come to the show, Justin, she interrupts impatiently. Don't you see what I'm saying? I don't want them to come. If they come, they'll bring Augie with them, and I just don't feel like... Here she's hit by another round of crying that doesn't even let her finish talking. I put my arm around her. I'm an awful person, she says through her tears. You're not an awful person, I say softly. Yes, I am, she sobs. It's just been so nice being in a new school where nobody knows about him, Nobody's whispering about it behind my back. It's just been so nice, Justin. But if he comes to the play, then everyone will talk about it. Everyone will know. I don't know why I'm feeling like this. I swear, I've never been embarrassed by him before. I know, I say, soothing her. You're entitled, Olivia. You've dealt with a lot your whole life. Olivia reminds me of a bird sometimes, how her feathers get all ruffled when she's mad. And when she's fragile like this, she's a little lost bird looking for its nest. So I give her my wing to hide under. This next chapter is called The Universe. I can't sleep tonight. My head is full of thoughts that won't turn off. Lines from my monologues, elements of the periodic table that I'm supposed to be memorizing, theorems I'm supposed to be understanding. Olivia, Augie. Miranda's words keep coming back. The universe was not kind to Augie Pullman. I'm thinking about that a lot and everything it means. She's right about that. The universe was not kind to Augie Pullman. What did that little kid ever do to deserve his sentence? What did the parents do? Or Olivia? She once mentioned that some doctor told her parents that the odds of someone getting the same combination of syndromes that came together to make Augie's face were like 1 in 4 million. So that doesn't make the universe a giant lottery then? You purchase a ticket when you're born, and it's all just random, whether you get a good ticket or a bad ticket. It's just luck. My head swirls on this, but then softer thoughts soothe, like a flatted third on a major chord. Hold on. Cooper, come here. Okay. No, it's not at all random. If it really was all random, then the universe would abandon us completely, and the universe doesn't. It takes care of its most fragile creations in ways we can't see, like with parents who adore you blindly, and a big sister who feels guilty for being human over you, and a little gravelly-voiced kid whose friends have left him over you, and even a pink-haired girl who carries your picture in her wallet. Maybe it is a lottery, but the universe makes it all even out in the end. The universe takes care of all its birds. Do you guys understand what he's talking about there? So he's saying that the universe, even though it gave Augie that face that people look at him and stare at and it doesn't look like other people's faces, it also gave him parents that love him, a sister who loves him, a good friend who chooses him over other people, and a pink-haired girl who carries his picture in his wallet. So even though he got a bad ticket on that one end, he still got really good things on the other. Alex, I can't see your camera, but I see the hand up. You want to turn your camera on? Do you have a question real fast before we start the next chapter?
it's more of a comment.
Okay.
If he's trying to study places of the periodic table, there's like a song for that you can find on YouTube. It's like it's one they make a lot of like videos about like
The elements and stuff?
science.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they use popular songs and they make them into it. And I'm pretty sure it was like Perpetual Motion that they used this time.
That would be awesome. Alex, if you find it, you'll have to send me the link because I would love to watch it, and I think Eli would really like it too, okay? Awesome. Okay, mute yourself again, Alex. All right, guys. So we are on part 6. And look who we're back to. Augie is our narrator again. So part 6, August. The first chapter is called North Pole. The Spud lamp was a big hit at the science fair. Jack and I got an A for it. It was the first A Jack got in any class all year long, so he was psyched. All the science fair projects were set up on tables in the gym. It was the same setup as the Egyptian Museum back in December, except this time there were volcanoes and molecule dioramas on the tables instead of pyramids and pharaohs. And instead of the kids taking our parents around to look at everybody else's artifact, we had to stand by our tables while all the parents wandered around the room and came over to us one by one. Here's the math on that one. 60 kids in the grade equals 60 sets of parents, and that doesn't even include grandparents. So that's a minimum of 120 pairs of eyes that find their way over to me. Eyes that aren't as used to me as their kids' eyes are by now. It's like how compass needles always point north no matter which way you're facing. All those eyes are compasses, and I'm like the North Pole to them. That's why I still don't like school events that include parents. I don't hate them as much as I did at the beginning of the year. Like the Thanksgiving Sharing Festival. That was the worst one, I think. That was the first time I had to face the parents all at once. The Egyptian Museum came after that, but that one was okay because I got to dress up as a mummy, and so nobody noticed me. Then came the winter concert, which I totally hated because I had to sing in the chorus. Not only can I not sing at all, but I felt like I was on display. The New Year art show wasn't quite as bad, but it was still annoying. They put up our artwork in the hallways all over school, and we had the parents come and check it out. It was like starting school all over again, having unsuspecting adults passing me on the stairway. Anyway, it's not that I care that people react to me. Like I've said it a gazillion times. I'm used to that by now. I don't let it bother me. It's like when you go outside and it's drizzling a little, you don't put on boots for a drizzle. You don't even open your umbrella. You walk through it and barely notice your hair getting wet. But when it's a huge gym full of parents, the drizzle becomes like this total hurricane. Everyone's eyes hit you like a wall of water. Mom and Dad hang around my table a lot, along with Jack's parents. It's kind of funny how parents end up forming the same little groups as their kids. Like my parents and Jack's and Summer's mom all like get along with each other. And I see Julian's parents hanging out with Henry's parents and Miles' parents. And even the two Max's parents hang out together. That's so funny. I told Mom and Dad about it later when we were walking home, and they thought it was a funny observation. I guess it's true that like seeks like, says Mom. Raise your hand if your parents are friends with your friends' parents. Yeah? Same. That's how it is in our house. Our really good friends, their kids, are good friends with our kids. Okay, this chapter is called The Augie Doll. For a while, the war was all we talked about. February was when it was really at its worst. That's when practically nobody was talking to us, and Julian had started leaving notes in our lockers. The notes to Jack were stupid, like, "You stink, Big Cheese," and "Nobody likes you anymore." I got notes like, "Freak," and another one said, "Get out of our school, orc." Summer thought we should report the notes to Mrs. Rubin, who was the middle school dean, or even Mr. Tushman, but we thought that would be like snitching. Anyway, it's not like we didn't leave notes too, though ours weren't really mean. They were kind of funny and sarcastic. One was, "You're so pretty, Julian. I love you. Will you marry me? Love, Beulah." Another was, "Love your hair. XOX, Beulah." Another was, "You're a babe. Tickle my feet. XO, Beulah." Beulah was a made-up person that me and Jack came up with. She had really gross habits like eating the green stuff in between her toes and sucking on her knuckles. Ugh. And we figured someone like that would have a real crush on Julian, who looked and acted like someone in a Kids Bop commercial. There were also a couple of times in February when Julian, Miles, and Henry played tricks on Jack. They didn't play tricks on me, I think, because they knew that if they got caught bullying me, it would be big-time trouble for them. Jack, they figured, was an easier target. So one time they stole his gym shorts and played monkey in the middle with them in the locker room. Another time, Miles, who sat next to Jack in homeroom, swiped Jack's worksheet off his desk, crumpled it in a ball, and tossed it to Julian across the room. This wouldn't have happened if Miss Petosa had been there, but of course there was a substitute teacher that day, and subs really never know what's going on. Jack was good about this stuff. He never let them see he was upset, though I think sometimes he was. The other kids in the grade knew about the war. Except for Savannah's group, the girls were neutral at first. But by March, they were getting sick of it. And so were some of the boys. Like another time when Julian was dumping some pencil sharpener shavings into Jack's backpack, Amos, who was usually tight with them, grabbed the backpack out of Julian's hands and returned it to Jack. It was starting to feel like the majority of the boys weren't really buying into Julian anymore. Then, a few weeks ago, Julian started spreading this ridiculous rumor that Jack had hired some hitman to get him and Miles and Henry. The lie was so pathetic that people were actually laughing about him behind his back. At that point, any boys who had still been on his side now jumped ship and were clearly neutral. Can you guys think of who that hitman is? Remember Justin? When they were on their way to the bus stop and Justin went and talked to him? I bet that's what Julian's talking about, but everybody thinks he's lying. So by the end of March, only Miles and Henry were on Julian's side. And I think even they were getting tired of the war. I'm pretty sure everyone stopped playing the play game behind my back too. No one really cringes if I bump into them anymore, and people borrow my pencils without acting like the pencil has cooties. People even joke about with me sometimes. Like the other day I saw Maya writing a note to Ellie on a piece of Ugly Doll stationery, and I don't know why, but I just kind of randomly said, "Did you know the guy who created the Ugly Dolls based them on me?" Maya looked at me with her eyes wide open like she totally believed me. Then when she realized I was only kidding, she thought it was the funniest thing in the world. "You are so funny, August," she said, and then she told Ellie and some other girls what I had just said, and they all thought it was funny too. Like at first they were shocked, but then when they saw I was laughing about it, they knew it was okay to laugh too. And the next day I found a little Ugly Doll keychain sitting on my chair with a nice little note from Maya that said, "For the nicest Augie doll in the world. XO, Maya." 6 months ago, stuff like that never would have happened, but now it happens more and more. Also, people have been really nice about the hearing aids I started wearing. Okay, guys, I'm actually going to have to stop there today because I have to go to a Zoom meeting with Mr. Johnson and all the teachers. So